Hey, John, it's Madison down in San Diego.
Hey, Madison, how you doing?
Good. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, that's my part of the world. A little early there, but...
well, you know, we're up early because we're crazy.
Okay, go for it.
The first book I read by you was Riders on a Storm.
Correct.
And in that, you talked about being a member of the Doors and the loss that everyone had, and you, and what you had to deal with after the Doors. And then a lot of time goes by, and now you've written The Doors Unhinged. And a lot of things have transpired in that time. So bring people up to date as best you can in just a couple of minutes.
Well, several years ago, Ray and Robbie went out on tour with the name without Jim Morrison, and that kind of upset me, to say the least. The Stones without Mick, and so Jim's estate and I entered a struggle to straighten that situation out, and that's what the second book is about.
And was it a real struggle?
To say the least. It was a 3-month trial, and normally a few days or whatever. I was countersued for more money than all of us collectively made in our entire life to sort of scare me away, which it didn't. Well, it scared me, but I didn't go away. And I'm pleased to say the Doors are back on their hinges. There's
a lot of incentive today that didn't exist, say, you know, when the Doors were playing. The money's crazy money.
Well,
and you passed up crazy money, and by the way, stood your ground on why. Explain why it wasn't worth it to you to take the money and run.
Well, because Jim didn't play an instrument, he said, let's share all the money and let's share all the writing credit. And so, you know, I know how everybody in the band is doing. We have nice houses and cars, and he blew up when he heard the idea of Come On, Buick, Light My Fire. And he primarily did not write that song, and he's not with us. And so I want to honor his integrity.
I've talked to Robbie and I've talked to Ray. I haven't spoken about this. It's been a while since I've talked to either one of them. How are you getting along now?
Better. It was strained. Now that this story's out, I feel better about connecting with them. And I sent them the last chapter so they could read how I wrote, how much I love them for what we created, which became bigger than all of us.
And it was truly an amazing collaboration. The Doors were completely unique on either side of the Atlantic Ocean.
Well, thanks. Across the pond, yeah, good.
I thought it was interesting that, you know, you had the poppy Beatles, the blues-based Rolling Stones, and while there were the Byrds, which were definitely acoustic flavoring, the Doors came out of something completely different. It was almost accidental, it seemed.
Well, accidental, but it was a blessed melting pot because Robbie had sort of flamenco, and I had the jazz, and Ray had blues and classical, and then Jim read every book on the planet, so he had the literary thing. So we were a true American melting pot.
You look back on the Doors' performances. I don't know if you've seen the updated Live at the Hollywood Bowl, but that was really amazing.
Oh, I was very involved in getting that together. Bruce Botnick, our longtime engineer, supervises everything, and he recorded all the songs originally, so we're in good hands.
I don't know that I had ever seen that until the most recent release of it, and it was different. It wasn't like there were any crazy virtuosity type. There was no self-aggrandizing in the playing.
Yeah, it was controlled, but fortunately it was filmed beautifully and recorded digitally, and so it's real strong that way.
And I heard that of the performances that Jim was known to give, this was a very laid-back performance.
It was, but, you know, to tell you the truth, he was a little inebriated that night. If you'll notice, he becomes fascinated with some moth on the stage floor.
Yeah, at first he thought it was a grasshopper. Yeah, I thought that was hilarious. I was going to ask you that, and I said, no, I won't ask. But you brought it up.
That's correct, yeah. Well, oh, dear. We go off stage, and I throw my sticks down. What's up, Robbie? And he said, well, Jim took acid. I said, oh, great. Mick Jagger's out there. Great. But still, it was an incredible performance, so I love the guy for his talent.
Yeah, when the music's over, it was one of my favorite pieces that night.
It's one of my favorites because I kind of stopped the beat and start having a conversation with Jim what have they done to the earth? What have they done to our fair sister? Stuck her with knives, tied her with fences. And then I start the beat again.
Yeah, it was a call response drummer versus vocalist. It was outstanding.
Call response, that's it. Thank you.
So I have the final question I have to ask. You know, I'm sure you get this all the time, but I'm going to ask you about a Not a Doors song. If you were at a diner in the middle of the desert, like, say, Joshua Tree, in the middle of the night, there's no one hanging around you, and you've got a magic quarter that could play any song in a jukebox. You just want a song. That particular setting, late at night, dark, you alone, what would you pick?
Oh, this is going to be a curve. The Firebird by Stravinsky.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome.
Because I saw Gustavo Dudamel, the new conductor of the L.A. Phil from Venezuela, who's a genius, the new Leonard Bernstein. He's a friend now because I wrote a piece on him. And I saw him conduct his first Firebird, and it was pin drop time.
Oh, my gosh. We'll have to check that one out.
Yeah.
I want to say thanks. I'm glad you're getting along with the guys. I think it would be a tragedy not to, and sometimes you just got to move on. But thanks for gracing us with the outstanding drumming, and I hope you still drum.
Oh, yeah. You know, I go out with Carlos Santana or Eddie Vedder or someone else in the future.
We'll look forward to it. And if you're ever down in San Diego, look us up.
Well, you know, Eddie Vedder wrote a lot of those Pearl Jam songs sitting on a surfboard out there in front of San Diego, and I sit in with him.
It would be great to see you.
Okay.
John Densmore, thanks for coming on with us.
Bye-bye.